Today on American Outlaw, let's go over some more of my guns. Right now we're going to go over semi-automatic guns. I'd say mostly AR-15s, but they're all semi-automatic and I just want to combine them all together. This one's going to be a little bit longer because I've got a lot of them. Guys, guess what? Today's sponsor of the video is American Outlaw. We've got a new shirt coming every single month. We've got amazing graphic designers, graphic tees. Get out there, show the world you're part of Outlaw Nation. Help support the channel. I appreciate it. And you know we want to show the world who we are. The first one is the old school Colt H-bar. This one's really cool, man. I found this from a guy here in town that had it, and he never could get it to work, and it's because the gas block isn't pinned. But this is the old H-bar. I remember, I remember whenever I was a cop, I was like, this H-bar is so awesome that the snipers had it, and to be able to have one of these old Colts is really cool. You're not going to really be able to see, but they have this really large button up here, and they did that so that you couldn't make them automatic anymore, thanks to the Reagan and Clinton and all of their gun stripping rights people. Check these dogs out. These are from Global Ordnance. Like, if you don't know about Strybogs, you ought to. I think I got 3 of them, a 10 millimeter, a 45. The 45 I really love because it's so quiet. But these Strybogs, dude, they are, if you don't have one, they're dang sure worth looking at. This is a Anderson Arms with a Wilson Combat Barrel, an old Ranger-proof handguard. Do you guys remember Ranger-proof from like 2015, 2016? This was my very first thermal hog killing rifle. I thumped a lot of hogs with it, but it was before you could really get suppressors and before you could really get SBRs really easy. Now that we can get them, I just shoot short barrel stuff with suppressors. But this was my first OG hog rifle in 6.8. And then this is really cool that it's got the JP bolt on it, and it is the 6 arc. And dudes, this 6 arc is stupid accurate. And I've also hunted a lot of hogs with it, but it's just too long with 20 inches and then adding a suppressor to it. So this is becoming a designated marksman's rifle, but if you don't have a 6 arc, like this was before they really started making 6 arc rifles, I put this one together and it's been pretty awesome. All right, a rifle near and dear to my heart. It's almost finished. Remember, I talked to you in my clone video that if I don't have every part of the gun 100% correct, my mind loses it and I just don't do anything. But this is a James Yeager tactical response where it says ready, fight. This is exactly how he set up his rifle. He had an OSS can on here, and I have a guy, Print, Shoot, Repeat, introduced him to me. And so I think I'm gonna get the OSS can for this thing now. Got the correct PEC 15. I got the correct aim point on there, and it's set up just like Yeager. I've got his entire bolt system in here, an SOE sling. And so I'm just missing, I have the aim point back, and as soon as I get the suppressor for this thing, this will be a rifle that, in the spirit of James Yeager, I'm gonna use the crap out of it because I think if you just put it away, he would be pretty disappointed. He believed in shooting guns. This is one of my Knights armaments. I got a couple of Knights armaments. This one has the Trijicon 1-8 on there, the VCOG. This scope has never failed me. I love it. I used to use it on as my designated rifle, my designated marksman's rifle. I got the OG Hyperion suppressor on there from CGS, and I love Knights Armament products. They make a great product. They make a great rifle. They're just really expensive. I guess you guys don't know this, but my daughter was in an active shooter situation in Dallas. I did a whole video on it and how I responded to it, and YouTube freaking deleted it, and I don't know why, because it was really pisses me off, YouTube, because it was actual news that happened and it was mainstream news. Even your precious CNN reported on it, but I tell you what I do about it, you guys get pissed off and you block me. Anyway, so this is a Triarch. I called Chris, the owner of Triarch, said, hey man, I'm never not having a rifle in my truck again, and he had this 16-inch. I thought it was cool because it was woodland camo. I slapped Schmidt & Bender short dot on there and a light. I don't need a laser. I don't need any of that. But this is a pretty freaking awesome rifle. It's shooting just about 3/4 MOA with match rifle ammo, and I just like it. It's Triarch makes a good rifle. YQ, check this out. This bad boy right here is the 8.6 Black in the boombox. And I love this gun. I have right now, I'm waiting on a scope mount. This will permanently be a thermal hunting gun. So There are, some states you can't hunt thermal in. You got to make sure you know your laws. I'm using this only for states that I can use thermal in legally and have an 8.6 Blackout gas gun. And I can't think of anything that's battered to the bone. Like when I take this thing nilgai hunting and you thump it with a, big old 300 grain bullet and it's quiet, it's subsonic, dudes, there's nothing better. I am a huge fan of Q, but I'm not a fanboy. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. I don't know why I'm saying that. All right, this is my general purpose rifle. Here it is. It's a Cobalt. And it is a stupid accurate rifle. And so if you don't have a Cobalt, you're messing up. I got a Schmittenbender 1:8 on it. I've got the RMR on top so that I can look over and do short up close work. I've got the SCI 6 from CGS on there. You can tell I'm a CGS fan. Love the guys over there. Bobby is just amazing. And so this to me is my general purpose rifle. Like, hey bro, gotta go to war? All right, let me take this GP rifle. Whoo, check this out, the Bushmaster with the carry handle, restricted law enforcement. What is cool about this is whenever I was a police officer and they finally started saying, hey, we're gonna issue AR-15s, this is what they issued us. And I thought it was pretty cool, so I bought it. It was like $800. Had a 16-inch barrel on there, and it is just a really cool old gun. I remember when they issued it to us, they had no sling and two 20-round magazines, and they gave us like 60 rounds. And we qualified on it. I remember we never did extend it long. We just always shot it close. Never had a sling on it. It was just, this is where we started. This is where we started in the early 2000s. And we've come a long ways, but these things would still get it done. I wouldn't be afraid to put my life on one of these old carry handle guns. I like them a lot. Dog, the HK91. This has been one of my favorite guns forever. It shoots 308. I really, the movie Sniper was my, Billy's shooting or Beckett, that was his name, was shooting the HK91. Turns out that wasn't the gun he was shooting, but I always wanted an HK91. I consider this probably one of the best battle rifles ever. It's a collector's item. It's pretty awesome. If you don't have an HK91, they are heavy, but they're stupid accurate. Yes, I have an MP5. If you don't have an MP5, do you need one? I don't know. This one is a class 3, so it will go pew, 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 pew. We're just pulling the trigger one time. I like them. I think they're cool. We've far surpassed it as far as shooting goes. Like you don't really need an MP5 for anything anymore. But to have them and be like, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun, some of that die-hard stuff, I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, the real deal MP5. This is like my phantom guns. I do this all the time. Got a 2A armament. The reason I was buying 2A armament stuff is because it was super light when I was thermal hunting. And then I had a Cobalt upper, and I'm like, well, I might as well put these two together to have a nice little gun. And this is just what you do when you're a B-list YouTuber and a gun guy. You just kind of put stuff together. Dogs. PWS sent me their Mark, what do they call this, 118? This is like a Mark 12, 18-inch barrel with an AB suppressor on it. Optics Planet sent me the Athlon optic. This thing is a tack driver. Like if you need a coyote gun, if you need a designated marksman's gun, you cannot go wrong with this girl. All right, I showed you in my clone guns a SEAL Team 6 rifle. This is another one. This is Irregular Defense's silencer that they just came out with. My buddy Slade and Sean came out with this thing, and it is crazy quiet. Gets the flash really good, has some cool outside stuff, but it's a 10.5-inch SEAL Team 6 rifle. I put the Delta Force Wilcox on there, and then I have actual issued EOTechs, and this is like a mixture between SEAL Team 6 and Delta Force. It's like a weird combination, and I'm trying to get to where I like this combination and shooting it. I kind of do. You can fold it out of the way so you can do up close stuff, push it back, you can get a little further. It's a cool little gig. I'm just playing with it right now, trying to get it set up to me. It's one of those mistakes that people make is you think that you have to set it up like your favorite YouTuber or military picture. No, I want to set this up to me, to fit me. I was watching the Garand Thumb, and I found a Fulton Armory old, I don't even know what the heck this is. I think I paid $800 for it, maybe $1,000. And then I got the Trijcon. I got it from my buddy who used to be a Trijcon rep, and it's made, the actual optic is made for a saw, and it's got the RMR on top, but it has more eye relief than anything else, and it's made for a 5.56, so I can shoot it like it's almost a scope. I don't know why I have this. It's just kind of that, I don't know, wildly different cool. I have 6 of these cobalts that are all OD green. I wanted them OD green because they match every environment. This one I have set up ready to rock for me exactly like I want. It's all tied down, it's all bolted down. I do have a laser for it, but I've got the Liberty's Defense suppressor cover on it. I've got the Surefire Scout light on it. I've got the aim point. If you notice here, I've got this stuff tied down properly, and I've got it blue Loctited, so I know if my scope or if my bolts have come loose or if they're not. This is one of the finest fighting guns I know of. This Cobalt gun is just amazing. Like I said, it's set up for me how I like it. It's set up to do close range stuff and, you know, mid-range stuff. I'd say 600 meters with this, you can really do some work with it. But, you know, if your life is on the line, these Cobalts are just really freaking nice rifles, and I really like them. This is not made anymore, but this was a Zev or Mega. Back in the day, Mega was the way to go. This is a 16-inch 308 in an AR-15 size. I've got a 260 barrel for it as well. I need to put a scope back on this thing and get it running. You know the MRGGA and MRGGS, I was trying to help those guys get into it several years ago, I think like 2021. Geisley won that project, I think with, I think LMT won a portion of it. But anyway, I've used this as a thermal gun a little bit, but this is a really freaking cool gun. And it's the size of an AR-15, but it is a 308. Here's old Cheddar Bob. So in 2012, I actually bought this from Jim Fuller at Rifle Dynamics. And at that time, we could get 5.45 ammo for $189 for $1,100. And so I think I have like 22 or 23,000 rounds down this gun. I've got an aim point on it, but that I have for it. But this sling I used when I went to Ukraine, carried it all through Ukraine every time I've been over there. It was really cool when I went to Ukraine because I had spent so much time on an AK-74. When they handed me one, I was just like, whoa, baby. Just at home, I've just hammered these guns so much. And so old Cheddar Bob, she's going to grow old with me. And like, this is a great freaking AK. Before I did a single thing with Q, I bought their Sugar Weasel. And I bought it because I really thought I was going to dog on them. So Kevin, if you watch this, I'm sorry. But I thought I was going to dog on you. And I took it out and I'm like, dudes, I really like this gun a lot. And it was shooting about 5/8 inch group with 77 grain Sierra Match Kings. It took me a really long time to get the suppressor. I paid legitimate full price for this. And I really like this rifle. I'm a big component guy of saying, okay, rifle barrels have their own like life and their own what do you say? Their own heartbeat. And so you can have a great one and you can have a bad one. And when you have a great one, you should keep it. This is a great one. This one shoots so good that even if I was mad at this gun, I wouldn't sell it because the barrel shoots too good. But it's a sexy looking gun. I don't care what anybody says. Q is a sexy looking gun. I really like it. I put the Leupold 2.5 to 10 on there. Optics Planet sent it to me and I dig this gun a lot. Sometimes you need a 300 Blackout, and Griffin sent me a 300 Blackout with their Prism on it. And I actually really like this little 300 Blackout. It's their can on there. It's super quiet. I think I did a review video on it. And it is a very nice gun. Griffin Armament has legitimately come a really long way. They have become a gun that I would put my life on every time. So if you haven't tried Griffin out, give them a shot. All right, look at this little SIG, man, the MPX. They sent me this. Couple magazines. I've got a suppressor that's coming that I'm putting on here from, I think, Dead Air. I actually really like the MPX. I would have preferred a longer one, SIG, but this one's actually pretty cool because I think in my mind, this one is like a perfect little backpack gun. I don't like this. I wish I could just get a full stock for it, but to have a little, you know, can on it about this big, to be able to have a backpack gun, to be able to get out and do some work with, I like it. You know, is 9mm enough? No, I mean, not when you can have 5.56, but 9mm will get it done. Throw some gold dots in here, put a little suppressor on there. A review's coming on this one. Let me just figure out how I want to set it up. Or looky here, another Cobalt. You guys are like, hey, why do you got so many Cobalts? Well, the owner of Cobalt's my friend. I like him. He builds a good rifle. He puts a lot of thought into it. Like, while I was studying ballistic charts, he was studying metallurgy to see which metal would be the best and how to come up with the best possible gun. And this one's a prototype. Now, I think we can say now that it was up for the same contract that Sons of Liberty won. I think they would have been, impressed with this or the one that they won from Sons of Liberty. I think they had great options, and this is a freaking awesome little rig from Cobalt. If you need a good rifle, don't ever look further than Cobalt. Dogs, I told y'all how much I liked Q, and I really love this Honey Badger. It's one of my favorites. I'm not a 300 Blackout guy. If you go through all of my stuff, you'll see I don't like 300 Blackout, but I love this Honey Badger 300 Blackout. And of course, we all have these differing views. Everybody's like, I am not telling anybody in home defense that they're there. I'm sneaking up on them, I'm coming in, and I'm shooting them quietly because I'm SEAL Team 6 operator. That's not me. I'm the guy that turns on my light and I'm like, hey, get out of my house, I have a gun. Why? Watch the video below, but for the most part, I have kids, right? I got a family. I don't want to push a bad guy into one of their rooms, right? I'd rather yell at them, them run away, and me not have to shoot them than me shoot them. But I'm prepared to shoot them. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with this little 300 Blackout right here because, dogs, it's light. Even with all of the stuff on it, it's light. And then having a laser on there so I can motion my kids, maybe blind a guy. I'm just kidding about blinding him. But anyway, this Honey Badger is the dog. I love it. I told you, I'm a Q fan. I've had this one for a while. Before the URGI, this was the Geisley rail. I can't remember what barrel's on this thing. I think it's the Kyle D4 barrel from BCM, and it's a complete BCM rifle. And then I've got the EOTech, what is this one, the 1-8 on there? And this is a really accurate rifle, and this is a good representation of a decade ago what we were having before when silencers were dang near impossible to get. This one is set up to be a designated marksman's rifle, and it's a great rifle. I haven't shot it in a long time, but it goes back to those, when you have a great rifle, a great shooting barrel, you don't get rid of it. I've always loved this rig, still do today. My love to hate Noveske 6-ARC project. So if you know anything about the 6-ARC, it came from the Tier 1 element of the Navy. We'll call them SEAL Team 6. One of the main guys that was putting it together, I was working with them as they went through their bad white tipped ammo and everything. I had a really hard time getting this Noveske to shoot. I still don't have it shooting. I did find out some things that I'm working on there. I've got Dead Air's new Lazarus can on there. I think they named it Lazarus because they came back from the dead, but got this Noveske 6-ARC that I really want to love. I got a lot of Noveske uppers, and I'm still gonna work on it to try to get it shooting. Gonna do some cleaning stuff on it and strip the barrel and see if I can get it shooting better than what it's shooting now. But if I can, this 6-ARC and a 12.5-inch barrel is pretty nice. I think I have more rounds down this rifle setup currently configured than anything. This one does have a giggle switch on it. I am a Class 3 FFL, and so it does giggle a little bit. It started out as a Daniel Defense upper. I put a Colt bolt in it, got a Surefire can on there, and Aimpoint T2, which I love. I think I've got like 16,000-ish rounds down there. I think the barrel's gonna be shot out anytime soon. I don't really do any precision work with it, so I still love this gun. I've since graduated, so I pulled a lot of stuff off of it, but this is the OG, kind of where it started for me when I really started shooting an AR a lot, a short barrel AR with a suppressor. I just love this old girl. All right, PWS sent me this piston-driven little short rifle. Hollow Sun sent me the optic and the laser. Guys, listen, I keep this without a suppressor on it. Yes, it's gonna ding my ears. I got it. I understand that. But everything's gonna ding your ears, but I keep this to have a short, very maneuverable rifle. If you need a rifle that's just legitimately a good rifle, not on the cheap end, PWS, dude, these things are really, really nice. And to have one of these, little 11.5s that you can really maneuver and get around, and you don't always need a suppressor. I like them. I prefer to shoot them, but I have this as a specific built thing that I've got to get busy with it, right? PWS is a great choice for a rifle. If you watch that video with me and my buddy old Phil, the Navy SEAL, what is he called? Having a Blast with Phil. This is the Night Force ATACR. 4 to 16 optic, yeah, 4 to 16 with the Daniel Defense. Again, this is one of those, one thing you're gonna have in common with me on my rifles is they all shoot or I don't keep them. This thing was holding 3/4 of a minute with junk ammo. And this Daniel Defense is set up for me as a designated marksman's rifle, and it's super nice. It's very similar to how Phil the Navy SEAL had it set up when he was a team guy and a sniper on his platoon. And so I've got it set up like that still, and I really enjoy this rifle. The Cobalt, what I would consider assault rifle, I actually had a custom Bartline barrel put in this. It's got the SCI 6 can on it, my preferred Aimpoint T2. I'm just now getting all of this back together, breaking it in, making sure it shoots really well. Like I said, I am a Cobalt fanboy. It fits me really well. I've got a Liberty's Defense wrap that's gonna go on this. I've got a laser, but this is my work in progress where I'm trying to find out what grip I want, what safety system I want. I really dig the flat trigger. I didn't think I was gonna like them, but it's a Geisley flat trigger, and I really do. And like I said, I've got this, you can see my Cobalts as I go down. Maybe I'll do another video where I show you like, these are my go-to guns if we're gonna get it, and this is definitely one of them. And like I said, I progress and I shoot and I get comfortable with what I want and set it up how I want to where every time I'm touching the gun, it's gonna do what I want it to do. And so I'm in the progress with this, but this is gonna be a permanent go-to fighting gun. All right, here it is. What did we call this girl? The Drip. I don't care what you guys say. I brought Desert Chocolate Chip back. Yeah, baby. I brought it back from the dead, from the Gulf War with General Schwarzkopf. I set this girl up. I called my boy Zach at Noveski. I built this thing out to be my fun, serious rifle. It's fun, but it's serious. Like, it means business. It's got a carry handle. It's got the aim point. And then it's got that drip. That Cerakote on there is just impressive. I just love it. Like, I love everything about this gun. It is just, I'm bringing sexy. Wait, I brought sexy back. Hey! This is the 14.5-inch Knights Armament. I've even got the Knights Armament can on here. The optic I have on here is not gonna stay. It's an aim point that it's like a clone optic. It's pretty cool. Like these old clone aim points, like not clone issued aim points, they're literally bomb-proof, bulletproof. I really like this Knights Armament lower. It's my favorite lower. It used to be on that Daniel Defense rifle up there. Legitimately, I've got thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of rounds on this lower. I just love it. It fits me perfect. I love how when I'm working with lowers, the way that I work is so I keep my hand together, my thumb on the safety like this, and as I come up, the safety goes off. But when I'm coming back on safety, I really love the easy brush back of this, and that's why I've just shot the crap out of this Knights Armament lower. I change the uppers on it all the time. This one, you know, you can see how dusty it is. We took it out, we did some stuff with it, and I just haven't had time to put it back together, set it up, because you see how many of my guns that I have that I do some reviews and I move some stuff over, and I just haven't had time to finish them. 2026 is my year to finish these rifles, Loctite them down, set them up to where nothing is gonna change on them, and then they are gonna be permanently set up like that. But that's what 2026 is for me. That is all of my kind of semi-autos that we've kind of touched on. I'm gonna do another video of these are my go-to-war, like I'm setting these up for me in case of whatever, SHTF, WROL, whatever you wanna call it. But I love you guys. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. I need to get up to 1 million. Help me get to that 1 million. See you soon.